Yo folks, and welcome to the channel. My name is Bork. In today's video we're talking about Illuvium and the open world gameplay leaks. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. Here's going to be the environmental leak, a concept image that was put out like months ago when Illuvium was like first introduced. And now if you jump into the Discord, we finally have some footage from VFX where the character is going to be moving. And look at this. It's absolutely amazing. You can see all the particles, like the sand falling from like the cliffs, the sand blowing through like pretty much the ground, all the different lighting effects, and you can see like the body sort of simmering with this character. So there's not like a simple demo where it's just like, oh, like he's just sort of, T-posing through like, the fields and stuff. There's legit like so many different things occurring in this screen, and you feel so insignificantly small of what Illuvium is sort of trying to encapsulate within like their environments and stuff. And to think like when I first saw this in like the Illuvium like sort of leaks, I was like, there's no way this is gonna be possible. And now just seeing like this play in VFX like for the first time, seeing the character be so tiny compared to like all the environments and all the things like flowing into the screen, it's just jaw-dropping. Like I can't believe like we're finally seeing something like this. And then let's go through the landscapes really quick. You can see this character right here. He's going to be jumping between the different areas with his jetpack. And after seeing like sort of like the character leaks that we just saw where he's like walking around in the environment, these environments, like these sort of areas, it really feels like we can finally explore these like sort of things in the future because of like that small leak where you can see the character sort of walk around in like, that sandy environment, almost like so close. You feel like it's getting closer to the time where you can actually explore like these expansive fields of like waters with the giant like Illuvium logo centered around like the world or the area you're going to be going into. Because the way Illuvium is going to be structured is there's going to be different tiered zones where you can walk in. You're like, oh, I'm going to explore this area. There's going to be different types of Illuvials essentially walking around the area. I can't wait until like we see like the character leaks where it's like this, and we can see like an Illuvial sort of walk around, and you can go and sort of see like the capture method where it's like, oh, it's like a random encounter for Pokemon. Like if you go towards like this light right here, there's going to be like an Illuvial right there that you can capture or something like that, right? We're getting so close, and I know it's like 2022 was where it got delayed for when the game might be sort of seen, but it's just so crazy. Like I was expecting something like this where the character, like I said earlier, was just going to be T-posing. You could see there's like multiple characters sort of T-posing in like that image right there, and you're just going to be like T-posing like through these areas. But now we can actually see the character actually walk around, go through the areas. Like I love this comparison where it's like, oh, this is you, and then this is like the foliage in the area, and you're actually this small compared to like the actual worlds that we're going to be exploring in Illuvium. And it's just so amazing because I just didn't think this was going to be possible. Like looking at this, this sort of graphic, this concept art, and then just actually seeing it in VFX, actually going real time where the character is walking around in this world, just so tiny, completely different like levels of just like awe. In no ways would I be like, oh, like this is going to be possible like within the next month or so, because I'm, kind of skeptical when it comes to like crypto and stuff. But now just seeing like the footage and this going into like the details of like the environment, it just gets me really excited. I'll leave links like down in the description in case you want access to like the character leaks page and all that stuff, and not to mention like these landscapes. These were like months ahead of when like the actual character leaks were pretty much displayed right here. Like this is like something in like the archives, and but yet again you can see like this character just sort of T-posing, and we're probably in just like a different area now where we can actually showcase the character no longer T-posing, but at least having like some sort of running animation where they don't look like they're just like a still non like sort of a lifeless sort of being, right? We finally have like those moments like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for something like this where you walk into the zone of like Illuvium, or you spot like an Illuvial in like this swamp like area, and you finally see like, oh my gosh, like this world is crazy, it's nuts. And I guess you could also see like these are going to be like different types of areas, like low, medium, high, like how much land is going to be available, points where you can sort of like jump in and out. Just knowing like the team had like all of this information in the archives, like just ready for people to sort of view. You can see here like the characters sort of exploring the area, they're like jumping between different places. This is really nice, and the amount of thought put into each area, I like how none of them sort of feels like the same. Like this swamp inner cavern has an entirely different feeling from like this island where it seems like to be like a battlefield of some sort for people to do like arena fights. And like this area right here with like the little glowing sort of orb, it has a completely different feeling from like the sand that we've seen like right here where the character is sort of walking around. The the amount of environments that they're trying to place in Illuvium is absolutely insane. Like, you could technically put yourself in one environment and be in like this one setting, and it would already feel absolutely insane to be in just one place. But they're trying to combine like all of these different landscapes in Illuvium for you to have, I guess, like the best gaming NFT experience that you could possibly have. And this world right here really reminds me of what this character is sort of walking into, and it's just crazy. Like, we can finally somewhat point a picture or get an idea of where this character is going to be exploring based off of like the images that we've had in the past in the landscapes. And maybe it's not this exact area, but it's just crazy that we're slowly seeing like this sort of style where you're just sort of, you know, roaming through the area, and it's just like sort of, you know, like cutty and not the greatest thing, to what we have now in character leaks, where this character is actually just walking through the space. And in case folks were wondering, there's gonna be like more leaks over here when it comes to vegetation. Honestly, like, my favorite parts is not even like the technology that's going to be used in Illuvium. It's of course going to be the different alluvials, because they're all sort of like backtracked into this area. You can sort of see like the evolution of characters and how like they're pretty much changing over time, and the different effects that they're going to be using. Oh my gosh, like you can see like even this, like there's different attacks with each character. There's like a basic attack, there's like walking animations, critical like attacks, and like all these different passives, and how they're going to be growing and evolving, and you know, the concept of how big they are compared to like the main character. It's just nice knowing like the level of effort being placed into Illuvium is just so next level. And oh, like there he like passes out, I guess, and then you have him where he's just like smilingly going to be like roaming the area in his like idle animations. But it's like these little things where you can sort of see the details that will be going into the game, and it's just really nice that it's slowly coming to life. If you're just checking the Discord or you're checking like the archives, there's not very many games that can show this level of detail for anything in particular. For at least like an ambitious 3D game, there's not much where you can be like, oh, I can go through like this laundry list of content. And then another thing that I wanted to look at was like these badges right here. If you actually go into Teamfight Tactics, this is like a sort of team builder thing. It really reminds me of the concept where it's like, oh, I want to run like a Hellion team, or oh, I want to run a Cannoneer team or a Skirmisher team, you know, running 2 attributes of those types. That way I can get like the effects for those different types of characters. This is what really gets me like bullish on the fact that yes, they are trying to be sort of like Teamfight Tactics, where you have like these synergy levels between your parties. And I thought it was just really interesting that they leaked this. In my opinion, like gameplay wise, this is probably one of like the heaviest gameplay leaks, because it really does match like that Teamfight Tactics setting where it's like, oh, you need to run other characters in order to sort of see what's going to be working for your team party in particular. And to have like this concept willingly shared to all like, you know, the different people on the Discord. By the way, you can see there's like 134,000 members, one of the biggest Discords I've ever been in. You know, the balls to be like, hey, you know, we're gonna show you what this gameplay is actually going to be looking like. What are the different teams like you can sort of look into? Obviously, this isn't all like final like information, but just to share this amount of details, really nice. And they're also leaking some of like the land gameplay stuff, which is really cool. There's even like, you know, hey, like this is what some areas are sort of going to be looking like, or the different land gameplays. And land is going to be like a different concept. We can talk about it in case you guys want to in another video, but I just really wanted to showcase when you're jumping into the world of Illuvium, in case you're wondering, will this game actually come out the way they're sort of envisioning? Sort of watching the amount of detail, like the things that they're willing to show constantly on Discord. It's just amazing. Like, there's not very many games that can just be like, all right, here's a clip of the character running around in our expansive environment with all of the effects, everything pretty much going absolutely insane, just so you can see what this world is going to be like. And the closer that we get to it, I guess 2022 or whenever this game plans to release, the more bullish that I pretty much get. Because when I first saw like these landscapes, I was, there's no way. I mean, like, this stuff looks cool, but after finally seeing like the characters just sort of walk around in this environment and to see like different layers, or the amount of work being put into just VFX alone, it's just really nice, because we're getting closer to like that dream of finally playing Illuvium, finally seeing the landscapes, and finally seeing like the gameplay content where they describe it to be like Teamfight Tactics. Definitely getting there, and it's getting closer. And I really just wanted to share this in case you guys are wondering, you know, what's going on with Illuvium. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 500 subs, we're doing a giveaway, whether, you know, whichever way you guys want to do it. And And I really recommend folks follow me on Twitter because I share all of like the latest alpha when it comes to Illuvium or when it comes to crypto on my Twitter page. Like even stuff that I haven't covered yet, like Solana games. Don't forget to follow Soul Big Brain because he has a lot of stuff when it comes to like the gaming aspects. But it's all right here in case you're like, oh, Bork, you don't release enough like crypto YouTube content. It's all on Twitter. Like if I'm thinking about something crypto related, it's like 100% on Twitter because I am on here like crazy trying to check like the latest NFTs, latest information regarding Illuvium or whatever I'm interested in. It's always on Twitter. So please like drop a follow there. If you like the content, you know, the crypto stuff here, I am like 100% always active on Twitter trying to find like the latest information for possibly, you know, here's a sort of sneak peek in a future video. But anyways, if you made it this far, thanks so much. Have yourself a fantastic day. 500 subs, giveaways. Illuvium looks so amazing. Have yourself a fantastic day. See you guys in the next one.